when there's an injustice against you or someone you love or someone you believe in, stand up. Don't sit down on them, if they need you.
Welcome to Popcorn Planet's Pop Culture Justice. I am Andy Signore, and we are facing a hurricane right now here in Florida. That's right. I even got the breaking news behind me, so I know what's going on. And I got Steph the Alter Nerd. It's Kim. I've just popped in. They're helping me, and we have some backups ensuring the power just started blinking literally before I went on the air. If the stream does go out, Steph has my stream key, and she will take over the stream, and I will try to phone it in from my phone so we keep you guys updated through because the next couple hours is when this storm's going to get a little bit crazier. It started to hit Florida. I want to give you guys updates because we have a lot of Popcorn Planet members here in the Florida region, and I want to make sure everyone knows how to stay safe, what's going on. And I know a lot of you guys are worried about me. Keep you guys updated. I seem to be out of the path just before I made some clips. I actually just went out there a little bit ago to make some clips I'm going to play for you guys. We also have a meteorologist who's going to be calling in to answer our questions and your questions if anybody wants to. And I also gave the Tampa group here in Florida, our Florida group, the Zoom link, so they could call in as well and show us where they're at or ask any questions. So today's gonna be just a nice hangout, updating you guys. Hopefully everyone is staying safe and sending all my thoughts your way. Just for your own sake, here is the sort of the most recent order of things. There is talk of it being a category 5, but right now it's still a category 4, but there's talk of it getting close to a category 5 as it hits. And this is the area where it's really going to do the worst, near Cape Coral, Fort Myers area. This is a beautiful area, guys. I of all the beaches in Florida, it's one of the ones I like to go to the best. So really expensive homes and nice people. It's a sad stuff there's definitely gonna be some damage from where it hits. But the thought from everything I had, and I'm not the meteorologist, we'll have him explain some more, but all around this area of Sarasota, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Englewood is where there's going to be a lot more. It'll be at its peak. And then as it hits land, it's supposed to, start slowing down. As it shows here, it'll go to a 3. Now, just so you understand where I'm at, I'm about like this area, between Zephyr Hills, Temple Terrace area is the area where I'm at. So I'm right on the edge. Our own Paige, Wancho, except for people in the St. Pete zone, I was really worried for a lot of them because they live here along the coastline and Tampa Bay around this area, and it looks like it's going to get missed. Thank goodness for us, for our sake. I'm feeling for the people it's going to hit, but right as of now, it seemed to have go more south and southeast, so it's avoiding our area, but it doesn't mean we're not going to face a lot of the winds and things, as you can see. And I'm right in like the gray. As it starts. So we're going to see some wind and stuff, but by the time it comes up to us, it's going to get more closer to a 2 to a 1, which should be less problematic. I hope. This is my first hurricane, guys. Everyone here in Florida treats this like it's just nothing. Kim, Steph, welcome. Has the news of our Florida hurricane hit either of your radio stations or anything, or only because you're here?
It has for me, for sure. We get a lot of American media where I am, so it's all over American news. So we see it, and I know that we're also covering it a bit too. There's a huge amount of snowbirds from my country, so they'll leave and go to like Florida or Georgia, Arizona, places like that during the winter. Some of them have like health issues that the cold's really bad, so they'll go down there and stay there for the colder months and then come back up to Canada. So I know multiple people right now who have properties in those areas that are going like, what am I going to do? So definitely seeing it from multiple things, and my heart and prayers are going out to everybody. I hope everybody stays safe. Don't underestimate the elements ever,
Right.
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and do the best that you can. That's all you can do.
Well said. I'm trying to give you controls, but I'm also realizing I still need them. And hold on, that's my cell phone, so I had it in the waiting room. If I need to go report, but Steph, I'll try. Hopefully, if I lose it, I guess you'll have to do your own Zoom, because I can't. If I give you host now, it makes things complicated because I can't share and my screen's all f up. But just be prepared.
Correct.
You may need to do your own Zoom as you start up. But I just if we lose, if something freezes and you see something go out, just stay on the stream, and Steph will. It might take a couple minutes, but she will take over from her end, and then she can put a new Zoom link out for Kim or anybody else or a meteorologist. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned and bear with us, guys. All right, so I got Tampa Bay behind me. I've been paying attention. We got the meteorologist there. I thought I'd start with just sort of showing you my experience here in Florida. I literally last half hour I've been out there filming. I went to go get gas. So if you want to see, it's been pretty tame. It's going to get worse, but just to sort of see how things are escalating, here's some exclusive clips from Florida's Hurricane Ian here by me. Here we go.
All right, so I'm going out to get gas in the car. Probably should have done it
Is
sooner.
it echoed?
But
Yeah,
it's
there's
still
an
not
echo.
too bad out here. As
Hold
when I
on. Why am I getting the echo? Hold on one second.
wanted to sort of
How do I avoid that? It shouldn't be on 2.
Richard Mayan, he says, "Love you guys. Please don't die, Andy."
Deal. I promise. I'm
Don't
working on it.
worry, Richard. It's all gooch.
So far, so good. Hold on. Are you still there?
Yes.
We are. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Does this change it?
explore before the storm
Okay,
really gets
echo
here.
gone?
To sort of
There we
see
go.
what it looks
Yes.
like
Better for
here in
me.
Florida.
Yeah.
It's raining. Oh, look at all these birds. These birds are all like coming out like they know what's up. What up, birds? These birds are just like chilling. Eating all like I guess the bugs are like coming up out of it. That's wild.
It's like
What up,
birdemic.
birds? But it's not too it's not too bad. It's just moments of real serious rain and wind. We'll see. It seems to be going out of my area. I hope Tampa is safe, but I feel bad wherever it's going to hit here in Florida. All the Floridians that are feeling the pressure, I'm sorry. But right now, this is like 1:45 p.m. right before the show. It's pretty clear. There are some weird shirtless guys jumping in the water.
Welcome to
What?
Florida.
Yeah, they were sliding in the mud.
Crazy in their bathing suits,
Oh,
going in mud.
dude! Wow.
See, some people are wild.
Florida
here.
guys. Florida men.
But yeah, I gotta say
Only
the
Florida.
rain right now is light. The wind gets really, pretty good at times, but still not like scary. There's a dude running in my neighborhood right here. He's
Yeah,
just
it
not
was
even
wild.
with a raincoat. Wow, what a man! That dude's no joke. He's like, I gotta work out. But yeah, and walking around the neighborhood, when you're sitting at home and it gets really windy and scary, it seems like, oh crap. But now I'm like stepping out of my zone, and yeah, it's life is normal, which is kind of a good sign, I think. Yeah. Well, all right, I'm gonna take you to the gas station. We're close, and I'm gonna go get gas, and I want to see how it is outside here. But yeah, I thought it'd be a little bit more dramatic than it is. So this is the
It
report
wasn't
coming
dramatic.
in around like
It gets dramatic.
1:45 p.m.
Stay tuned. Hold on.
Eastern Standard Time.
Let me get to the gas
nice.
station.
It's
Hold on.
and I'm curious. Yeah, is the food truck? There's a food truck.
Everything was
here.
closed down, surprisingly, but
There's a
then
lot.
this was a surprise.
They closed. Are they all closed? Pumps are stopped. Sorry. They're out of gas. Guys.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Look at this. Look at this. Sorry. We are out. They're out of gas. Pumps are stopped. Oh, crap. See, now I'm getting worried. Do I gotta go even further? Oh, jeez. It's all, they're out of gas. That was stupid of me. Oh, God, Andy, you're so stupid. You're so stupid.
I was supposed to get gas a couple days ago.
bad. All right, well, that was part one of my journey.
All right, here's part 2.
I found a second gas station also out of gas. I guess I should have done this yesterday.
Okay, spoiler alert. It's part 3.
All right, guys.
I found gas.
Yay!
Half of this lot was filled. The other one. So, guys, if it's probably too late now, but yeah, I'm glad I went and got it before in case shit hits the fan. Now I at least have it.
Even at this place, some of
Because
them
this gas station's running out too.
are out. So it's clearly getting closer. I'm going to walk out here to see a little bit more. It's starting to run out of gas. I guess everyone's just getting it like crazy. I'm going to step out into the rain so you get a sense of what it's like here in the actual rain as I become a weatherman Andy today. Florida weatherman. Yeah, it's
I don't
just,
mean any disrespect, but this looks like
it's
a
just,
normal day in England.
Yeah.
I'm under a tree still.
No disrespect taken,
It's
Steph.
wet.
Everyone's out there like, well, wait, it gets a little bit more intense. But yeah, you
What
can
are you
see.
doing?
I wanted you to see this just so you can sort of tell it's not that bad where I'm at. It definitely gets like windy, and it gets winds are. But this is normal stuff. It's all more of the panic mode and everything else. And there's areas of Florida that are getting hammered. I don't want to make it seem like everything's like this. Like I said, I'm over here.
Yeah.
So just imagine if I'm here, while this is happening, I'm far away. The amount of damage that's causing that this is a category 4, it's demolishing these areas like Northport where the laundries are. And our own, I got to send Julie a lot of love because she's in Northport. We're everybody, please send Julie a lot of vibes because she's in that area, Julia. I mean, just this area while this is hitting, so you can tell stuff. It's going to get way worse. It's going to get way worse. So you sort of are getting a sense of like how it started. And this was about an hour ago, and then this is when it got a little more intense.
All right, it's getting way worse. I'm feeling it now. I wanted to sort of experience what this was like with the wind and the rain, and I'm seeing crazy wind. These palm trees behind me, all of these are falling like nuts. If you can see, I gotta be careful. With the palm trees, these like, they're flying all over the place. Flying behind me. Wow, I'm really in the storm center now. I feel like I'm one of those weather guys. Guys, I'm here live in Tampa Bay, Florida. The rain. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Some of them are probably amping it up a little bit for you, but here, you can feel it. Like it gives you an energy when you're out here that I understand why those weathermen do it. Because you're like, guys, I'm here in the rain-soaked Tampa Bay and the hurricane wind. I just I can see why they do it. They're amping it up a bit. But no joke, it's scary. I can't lie. It's wiping up my camera lens. I can't lie. Like seeing this freaks me out because of all the panic buying and everything else. But yeah, this is the first time I'm driving through and I'm like, oh no, it's starting to hit. It's starting to hit. And we're about to go live, so I'm driving back home and I'm seeing. I don't know if you can feel it with the wind behind me of these trees, but oh yeah, it's starting to get
you can
intense.
hear it.
This is again the beginning. I see the lines coming, like from the road, like the wind's blowing the rain through the tracks of the road. Oh yeah, I feel it now. Woo! And this is just like a baby. These are baby winds right now for where I'm at. So I can't even imagine. I feel so terrible. I'm sending so much love out to the rest of Florida. Oh my God. Guys, be safe. Please be safe out there. I mean, this is totally not dangerous where I'm at right now. It looks worse though, I'm sure, from a camera. We'll watch this back and I'll comment, but for real, I feel like I'm like one of those reporters who's like, hey, hold on, how do I prop up the camera and be like, can I do it? Let's see. Guys, I'm live here, and it's windy, and oh dear, guys, it's so windy. Careful! See, I feel like some of these guys are probably faking it for you, but some of them aren't. Can't tell. You got to be careful. Always got to keep it honest, even in my weather reporting. I don't feel like I'm actually going to blow away, but I do feel it. It's not like pushing my body, but I look skinnier because my baggy shirt's getting tighter. Well, there you go. There's the rain report from Tampa. I'm going to get ready to go in the studio. We're going to try and stream today while we can. In fact, we're streaming right now, I guess. I forgot. I pre-taped some of these so you can see me out in the world. But stay safe, everybody. Back to you in the studio, Andy.
Yeah, thank you so much, Andy. What is it cold out there, Andy? Is it cold out there?
It's really windy here. It's really windy here.
Oh yeah. I thought we would. Is it hard to hear me? I assume.
I know we didn't prep this very well. I forgot what you were going to ask me, but I appreciate it. How are you doing? Can I hear Army Hammer?
Yeah, you can totally hear Army Hammer.
Yeah, stay safe, Andy.
That makes you feel better.
Stay
In the
safe.
storm, everybody. Let's try and laugh. All right, I'm out of here. I got to go with the
We love you, Andy. Please don't die. All right, there we go.
Kim lost it with that prearranged bit.
That was beautiful.
See, I need an Emmy, don't I? That was epic.
Gorgeous. That was beautiful. All of the awards.
When do I get to interview myself? I never get the chance to interview myself like that.
No. What an
But there we go.
You
there
pulled
it
a
is.
proper Donald Glover on that one.
There was a twist. But then it's like you go to other areas. I was trying to get Mike's weather page on. I love this guy's he's like one of those like twister guys. Like, and then you can see, Steph, how it's getting. Now that looks worse.
That definitely ain't English weather then at that point. No.
So, you know, I'm getting, it's loud. See, it's loud. But so now you get the gay, like, I'm getting the baby version of it, and I was feeling it. So I can't even imagine, like, this guy's he's in the eye wall of Ian. Like, that's terrifying shit. And I don't know, this guy's nuts. He, like, just drives around to, like, document the storm. Storm chasers. People really into it. But yeah, this guy's out there, like, right now, live doing it. So I was going to play some more clips as he clips them. But yeah, that gives you a sort of a better sense of, like, you know, obviously, this is no joke. And again, this is the beginning. It's just starting. It's starting to just hit and really hit Florida. So we're all in the next, you know, while we're all gonna hear, you know, it could probably hit like this to us later. I don't know. This is why it's getting more serious. Now you know my footage gives you a little bit more ease, but then you realize, oh shit, this is the heat of it as he's driving into the eye of Ian. He was live earlier. The calms before the storm. It's wild. But yeah, so then you get a better sense of things. We have a meteorologist who's going to call in. I forget a fan. Her husband was a meteorologist, and it was amazing. She reached out and she was telling us, "Would you like someone?" I was like, "Yes, please." I forget his name. Do you remember his name, Steph? I put it on there. We're gonna have him call in a minute. And can you send him the link, Steph?
Yes, I can.
It is.
I've got the email.
Tim Pandagus. Tim Pandagus. All right, if you want to send him the link, let's get Tim in here so we can not delay on that because that's a score. Actually, no, I want to leave his page. Let's leave that one up there. But guys, thank you so much for your support today. All of it. And just send your love and positivity, not just to me, but everybody. Julia, I'm sending it so much to you. I was telling, yeah, it just sucks. Northport, you know, the laundries are out there. That's that whole, we were out there watching it. That town of Northport is getting hit right now really, really badly. So I hope everything's okay for her and everybody. I wouldn't care so much about the laundries if I'm being honest, but everybody else I hope is safe. Does that mean Kim laughed? I guess it was okay.
No, I was just thinking, you know, they've got their underground bunker, so maybe they could do that.
It's true.
But no, seriously, like basements are not always a good idea in a hurricane. It's not always good because flooding is serious. So yeah. Correct.
All right. Well, look, he's legit. We got a legit weatherman. Yeah. Look at this.
So his name's Tim. Yeah.
Yes, Tim, meteorologist. He's out in Houston, but he's covering Tampa now. Most of the obvious meteorologists are out there covering this for everybody. But Tim's there, total weatherman. Love it. Got to follow him back. And he's going to be calling in to give us advice. So if anybody, if our Tampa room or anybody else has questions, send them on over now because I'd love to. I'll be asking him stuff too, but curious what he's going to be able to tell us as he's going. It made landfall near Cayo Costa, Florida, as a 150-mile-per-hour Category 4 hurricane, ongoing catastrophic storm surge, and damaging wind. I need him to explain this storm surge, because everything I'm watching is like, it's the storm surge. The storm surge is the problem. And so I want to, hopefully he'll be able to elaborate a little bit quickly on what that is. I know he's also doing the news, so we're very lucky to have him. So go give Tim a follow and thank him for popping in when he gets here. But we just sent, I think, is this him? Or is this Julie? Julie from Northport? Let's bring her in.
Oh, I've just sent
let's see. You just got, all right, well, I got someone in the waiting room. Yeah, and everybody in Florida, if you have, I realize my Ring camera, I'm recording everything in case something crazy happens. I'll have a video of something bad. At least then you have that. I don't know if that's really better. Julie is still connecting. I can't see you, Julie. But as we wait for Julie to connect, I can't tell if that's, let's sorry guys.
Whilst we're waiting for that, there's 4,000 of you watching, and there's less than 1,000 likes. You know, in terms of all this coverage, let's get up to 2,000 likes. So at least half of you out there pressing that like button, smashing it. It's $3.99. If you're appreciating the coverage right now, and especially what Andy did earlier on, he went out. He missed his life.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, that's got to be a like for that. I mean,
I'm gonna,
come on, guys.
As it gets, I'm going to go back out there. If it's not, I'll show you at least from my backyard area. I'm going to try and step back out to see how it was, so you can compare it from where it was to what it's going, if we're still there, if we're still live. So thank you. And then Julia, welcome, Julie. Where are you there, Julie?
I am, Andy. Can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you. Sending all the love and light to you because I know you're stressing right now. But I don't lose it. I think it's just let's have faith.
I am stressing.
Let's have faith.
You know, we had mandatory evacuation yesterday. I did not want to leave. I didn't want to leave my house, my belongings, and when it came in at 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and I was told in no uncertain terms, get your ass out of there. I left with the clothes on my back and my dog.
Yep.
And I drove up to Tampa. I went to my son's last night. And today, this afternoon, Zayden and Gina, ever so grace, you know, they welcomed me into their home as well. So I am here safe. Unfortunately, I don't know what I'm going to go home to. I was told today, I'm a mile from Charlotte Harbor. So I was told, expect a 15-foot surge. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Julie, I mean, as long as you're safe and your dog's safe, that's really the most important thing right now. I'm looking at the map. It's definitely, you know, you're in a tough spot, but that doesn't mean the worst. So let's keep giving you faith. Let's keep being positive, and please, as things go, obviously we got your back. Let us know what happens so we can help make sure you're taken care of, because you're one of us. We're not going to leave you in the lurch. Yeah, I feel for you. I'm there, but let's try to keep it up, because you're in the Northport area, or you're in the Port Charlotte area. You're like right in this.
Take right there. Right on that the red line, but come down further, and that's Charlotte Harbor, and that's where I am.
Charlotte, like Charlotte Park here? Oh, Charlotte. Okay.
Charlotte Harbor. Okay,
Yeah.
that where your mouse is, that's the harbor. Okay,
Okay.
and come up to 41.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm a mile.
Yeah, this is not a
harbor.
good spot to be in. So yeah, I mean, but
No.
well, I'm glad you left. You wanted to stay there. I think that would have been a mistake.
I did, and everybody told me, and they were telling me for days, and I kept fighting it and saying no, you know, because I've been through Irma. I was through a lot of them, and originally the way the path was going, yes, I was going to be on the right side of the storm, so I knew I was going to get, you know, those outer bands, but it was coming directly for you. And so no offense, Andy, but I was like, okay, you know, I could deal with the outer bands. It's going to Tampa. And I was going to have my daughter-in-law and my granddaughter come to me, and then boom, inside of 4 hours, the damn thing made that.
Yep. It shifted
that turn. It shifted.
Yeah, this line was
now,
like over here and hitting all of us a lot harder. And there was a point where it was even going to hit the bay here, which,
Right.
you know, it's much, I mean, I think it's much more populated. To have hit St. Pete, Clearwater, Tampa would have been a massive catastrophe.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be no matter what, but it's just that is a major city that hasn't been hit, I think, 100 years it's been.
Exactly.
So this was, I think, even bigger news, because it was like, oh shit, Tampa Bay is about to get hit. The Buccaneers had to move out. Like there's a lot of stuff. Everything, the airports, everything's shut down. But yeah, it looks like now this is where the area is going to be, and it's not like I wish it anywhere else, but yeah, it's sad. And yes, Julia, I feel for you. I'm here for you. Let's see how it goes. Stay positive.
I left everything. The only thing I grabbed was my medications, my legal documents, my dog, and dog food, and I left. Everything behind. And I'm really concerned about this 15-foot surge that they're saying is coming, and I don't know when. I'm just hoping that, I know it's moving faster than they originally said, the speed of it. So it's going to go through faster. And I'm just praying that tomorrow they're going to open everything up and let me go home. I just want to go home and see for myself.
I can't imagine the waiting. I mean, there's a lot of still possibilities here, so let's not lose faith. it could definitely slow down as it starts hitting the land here. You're a little bit further out. Hopefully, if anything, there may be some damage to the building, but then your things inside aren't completely destroyed. There's a lot of scenarios that can be a little bit better. So let's keep the positivity. Please keep us posted and call us in and let us know. But if I could give you a big hug, I would, but someone is giving you something good.
Yeah,
Please.
I think you've got good
Please
support.
give her a hug.
Please
give her a hug.
Andy, you know Zayden. He's been on your show before. This is his wife, Gina.
Oh, so nice to meet you, Gina.
Nice
Hello,
to meet
Gina.
you. Yes, we
Yeah.
are keeping her
Class.
safe here. She's the most important. Items,
Exactly.
materials.
You can get everything else
Those are
again.
replaceable.
It's
She's
all
not.
replaceable. You are not. Well said. Remember that. And look where you are. You have love and support with you. That's all that matters right now. So be happy that that's happening.
My popcorn planet friends and family, and my Lewis. Here's Zayden.
There he is.
Aw,
Yeah.
hey,
What's
Zayden,
up,
man.
dude?
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Doing great.
Yeah,
My-
up, dude.
Yeah.
Trying to keep her safe.
Yeah.
So
Good.
Thank you.
That's the main
After the
thing.
day Lewis had yesterday, and now the day I'm having.
When it rains,
no
it
doubt.
pours. That's the saying, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Literally.
But there's a rainbow at the
Yeah.
end of every storm. God
Yes,
promised.
that is the motto here. There's a rainbow at the end of the storm. All right, well, guys, stay here. Please stay here because we have our guest here. I want to take over and talk to our
Okay.
special guest. I'll come back to you in a
Okay.
minute, Julie. If you have any questions, I'll come to you before we lose them. But let's bring in our
Ask
expert
him about that
meteorologist.
15-foot surge.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
we're
might-
gonna get there. Look who is here. Tim is in the building. Oh my goodness, so honored to have you, sir. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So a pleasure to meet you, sir. We have a lot of questions. We were just going through Julie, who's stressing because she's out in the Port Charlotte, Northport area, and we're looking at where it's going to hit. Everyone's obviously concerned, but it does seem like things are shifting. I'd love to get your perspective, and thank you for your time. I know you don't have a lot of it. Can you sort of break down right now, update as what you're seeing? What's the latest update on Hurricane Ian?
Well, Ian just made landfall within the past hour, right around 3:10 Eastern time, made landfall as a Category 4 hurricane. There was speculation that it may jump intensity and make it to a Category 5. To do that, it would have needed 157 mile per hour winds. It topped out at 155 earlier today. So landfall timing was 150. So, I mean, it's just wrecking the South Florida coastline, Southwest Florida coastline. Storm surge values we've seen already up and over 10 feet, up to 18 feet is expected. And north of the center, really north and northwest, we're getting the winds actually blowing offshore. So areas like Tampa Bay, all the water is actually draining out of the bay. So they were really concerned if there was a landfall that was going to be near there, they would get that storm surge. That's shifted south into the Fort Myers area, the Port Charlotte area, into Naples and Cape Coral, all dealing with terrible conditions there. On top of that, it's moving really slow, only at 9 miles per hour. So they're going to be dealing with these conditions for an additional 8 to 12 hours on top of what they've already seen. And conditions have deteriorated pretty much the last 24 hours.
So, can you explain the storm surge? Because I keep hearing everybody saying, "Oh, the storm surge is really what matters." For those of us that don't really understand the language, what is a storm surge?
Well, in particular for this part of the Florida coastline, and really all of the coastlines throughout the United States, this area is the most susceptible to storm surge because of the topography under the ocean, under the Gulf of Mexico waters. The continental shelf is very shallow and extends out to a great distance. So that means the water builds on a shallow continental shelf building towards the coastline, and it amplifies the storm surge impacts. So this particular area is just so much more susceptible to seeing a larger storm surge than other areas of the Gulf Coast and even the eastern seaboard as well. So what that is, storm surge is driven on the east or to the right side of the storm center. That's where you're going to be having the winds blowing onshore, and they'll be the strongest too. And that's just piling the water up along the coastline and pushing it up along low-lying areas.
Got it. Okay, so go ahead, Steph.
Sorry. So from how you've explained it, Tim, and thank you very much for coming on. A storm surge hits landfall, but then depending on what typography it kind of then reaches to, it's like it gets like a power boost and then kind of rumbles on and then depletes power. So it landfall, depletes its power, but then goes over a certain topography that boosts its power again, and then it goes off again. Is that kind of how it is for layman terms?
Storm surge is going to be occurring up until landfall. Once the center of the storm is up and over land, the intensity will start to drop. Storm surge will be on because the winds are still going and piling up winds. Once the wind direction changes with the movement of the storm, that's when the surge values will start to drop.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Thank you.
So what do we what's to come? Like, what do you because this was, as Julie was telling, like this was going to hit Tampa Bay, it seemed. For a while there, it did seem like, and that was going to be that. It's obviously really bad news. It's a major city, but now it's sort of shifted over. Like, could it still shift? How reliable are these lines and these predictions at this point? Do you feel like we have enough data and the timing at this point that this is pretty much the areas that need to worry, or could things still shift?
I'm not so much concerned about it shifting anymore. Really, in the short term, it's a pretty dead-on forecast. It's going to be lifting off to the northeast. And as it does so, now that it's away from its fuel source, which was the warm ocean waters, it will pretty quickly drop in intensity. In fact, by tomorrow morning, winds should be half as strong as what they are now, but still a high-end tropical storm. So after the storm surge really starts to kind of go down, the next problem is going to be this storm raining itself out. It's a tropical system, so there's tons of moisture. We're talking 1 to 2 feet of rain in areas to the north and northwest of the storm track where it's set currently. So rain, freshwater flooding is going to be next. Storm surge will go down. Winds will still be a problem. Power outages through central Florida. And then in the longer term, or really the next 2 days, it moves back into the open waters, this time in the Atlantic, off the east coast of Florida. And at this time, it'll likely still be a mid-grade tropical storm. And with the addition of its fuel source returning, it may try to re-strengthen and then make a secondary landfall near the Carolina coastline. So there's a lot more areas that'll likely see Ian impacts before this finally dissipates and pushes out into the open Atlantic, not impacting anybody anymore. So, I mean, what should we be most worried about right now? I mean, if I'm here in the Tampa Bay region, for those of us who are stressing out, or even Orlando, right? It's coming up to Orlando. People are like, well, that's where Disney World is. Like, who is in the most? It just shifted too. That was interesting. Who should be the most concerned? Are the evacuation zones already said? The issues to worry about, and everybody else should just hunker down and expect rain. Any sort of warnings or suggestions for those that are wondering? Well, the evacuation areas were all in concern of the storm surge flooding. Once this moves inland and starts to weaken, the storm surge threat will still be present, but decrease. So now inland areas are going to have to be worrying about the freshwater flooding to the northwest of this track. Southwest Florida, not going to see a ton of rain from this. It's going to be more of an area of central and northern Florida that'll have to deal with the flooding rainfall. Tampa Bay area, again, they had the offshore winds, so storm surge flooding is not going to be a real problem for them. Even though as the storm lifts to their east and northeast, the winds will turn onshore. But at that point in time, it'll be a weaker storm, and storm surge values won't be nearly as impactful as they would have been if it tracked overhead or nearby. Okay, so I'm asking my own selfish question first, since it's my show. But if I'm in Tampa Bay, should I be worried or should I not? If I'm here in this area, do you think it's going to taper down by the time it hits me? I do. I don't think that you're going to see it get worse. The winds are very gusty right now, 60, 70 mile an hour gusts. It'll be that way for a little while, but as the storm itself weakens or land, the winds across the area will. Okay, got it. Now, so your most area of concern for you is this coastline, which you're saying it's already been hit. It's hitting right now. Absolutely, yeah. They're getting. And they will. So, what kind of damage? Like, because we have Julie on the phone. She's obviously upset. She's in the Port Charlotte area. Like, do you expect this whole thing to really be decimated, or is it gonna kind of damage that's gonna hit and miss certain things? Like, what kind of damage can we anticipate here? Storm surge is completely dependent on the topography of the coastline. So some areas will see higher storm surge than others. So that entire area has the potential of seeing the storm surge reach 18 feet. So that's a 2-story building being inundated by ocean water. That's the potential there, which is why the mandatory evacuations were in place for those areas, and nobody should have been left behind if they were in a flood zone.
Got it. Okay. So then, but this area, like how far until it sort of slows down in your mind that people can start?
Oh, that water's being funneled into these river systems and these channels. So all along the rivers and estuaries and tributaries, it's all going to be flooded.
Yeah. And so if you're in a flood zone, chances are it's either been evacuated or maybe consider evacuating. Is that your advice?
And this was pretty close to being a worst case scenario for this area. So this was well known to be a possibility if in fact the storm took that track, and that's exactly what happened.
Interesting. Julie, do you, or Kim or Steph, anybody else have questions for Tim before we let him go? Oh, I've done,
I do.
Go ahead, Julie.
I do, Andy. Tim, I know you can't tell me what I'm going to go home and face, but the storm surge kept going up and up and up over the last 2 days. I mean, this morning they said first it was 10 feet, then, this morning 15, and now you're saying 18 feet. I'm a mile from Charlotte Harbor. What am I facing?
You're facing storm surge values that will probably be close to that high. I mean, if it was already coming in and over the last 24 hours gaining depth, I mean, the reason why those numbers increased is because the storm intensity increased. Last night, it was it was still a major hurricane last night at 120 mile per hour winds. In about a 3-hour span early this morning, it went from 120 to 155. In something we call rapid intensification. I'm sure you've heard that buzzword around. So with a deepening storm, the stronger the winds, and that was going to allow more ocean water to be pushed up and over the coastline. So that's why those numbers came up, and they have continued to go up pretty much over the last couple of days. So have you flooded before? Did you flood, say, during Charlie back in 2004?
I didn't live there in 2004. So this is my first experience in this area. Do you have any idea when I'll be able to go back home?
Yeah, what's it for people who are waiting? Yeah, what's the typical turnaround for people who are allowed to get back into evacuated zones?
It really is going to be dependent on your city officials, because not until tomorrow you're going to be able to get out there and assess what has been damaged. The infrastructure damage to allow people to get back into their homes, bridges, overpasses, roadways in general need to be cleared. Power lines need to be replaced and put back up. It's really going to be dependent. You have your local officials, your emergency managers that are going to give you the best timeline for when to return and what has happened in the areas that you evacuated.
Thank you.
Yeah, Julie, let's keep your head up. It doesn't, it doesn't mean the worst yet. Let's see. It's definitely not. And sadly, it's sad you're in that area. But for everybody else, because I've had questions, Clearwater, St. Pete, those people who are very concerned, you think they can breathe a little sigh of relief that this isn't going to go hit on their area?
Yeah, it's inland now. It's not going to be heading towards your area. You're still feeling the fringe impacts. What you're feeling now, you'll likely continue to feel. But I do want to reach back out to Julie and say, I'm glad that you left, Julie, and you listened to the mandatory evacuation notices given by your emergency manager. This is for that reason. You could, if you're seeing videos now on social media, there are some really catastrophic images coming out of those areas. And if you were you had to call 911 for any reason, under mandatory evacuation, they do not answer. They will not respond to your call. So I'm glad that you're not there. That's good news. Things can be replaced, right? We just have to be thankful that, you weren't there and you weren't impacted directly by it, but hopefully your home made it through.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
advice. As tough as is, Julie, and I'm here for you. We'll talk, Julie, again. But yeah, regarding everybody else, that this area, how far deep in? So once we get to once it starts hitting the category 3, as that starts to be slower, that still seems pretty intense. Again, what line should the worry stop?
The worry should go. I mean, the warnings are in place for a long while from now, up 12 to 18 hours from now. It will still be under warnings until the storm moves out. The wind dies down completely. That's when you should be able to go about your daily lives again. So you still got some time. I mean, it just made landfall and it's moving at 9 miles per hour. So it will start to weaken. That's why it's down to a Cat 3 at that point, but probably still a major hurricane right through this evening. Even though it's over land, it's still got a lot of steam to lose.
And so people in the gray area of the map, just as we wrap up, even to Orlando, could this tropical storm be big enough that it still could cause damage?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And looking at this cone, a lot of times this cone is misleading because people think that if you're outside of the cone, you're okay. That's not the case. This storm is very, very large, and its impacts are way beyond what you're seeing in this cone. The majority of Florida will be impacted by this storm before it moves away.
Ah, man. Well, there it is. It's not the news we all want to hear, but I appreciate the honest news so we can actually plan accordingly. I mean, like, is Disneyland, you think that's going to actually get damaged?
I don't know if they'll get damaged. They'll have the gusty winds. They're all taking their precautions. They've, backed down they should be okay. And by the time that gets there, it's, winds are still going to be strong, but I don't think they'll be dealing with as catastrophic damage as when it made landfall at its strongest.
And I'm saying that for the audience just to understand. Orlando is Disney World. That's where Disney World, not Disneyland, is sort of a big hub of just so you understand what's happening.
Actually
Orlando, Tampa.
Yeah, I have something relevant to that. I actually was in Orlando and Kissimmee during Tropical Storm Faye. I think it was like 2008. And it was kind of one of those tropical storms that it finished and then it came back and then it finished and then it came back. And it was like the never ending storm. And it ended up actually spawning a number of tornadoes and things like that. But I was on Disney property and I found out then that there's a lot of infrastructure efforts that are put forth in Florida to try and prepare for when things like this do happen. So a lot of the buildings and construction are designed with the idea that this is a possibility. So I think just my point is with, if people are like, oh no, like Magic Kingdom's going to be off the face of the earth. I don't think that's going to be the case. They know when they build it that they've got to be prepared for this kind of thing. So I think they will be. Tim, I don't know Florida, if that's accurate, but
yeah, is Florida building to do that? Is she right?
Right. Yeah. And in Florida, they're not strangers to tropical systems. So building codes reflect that. You have to have a certain type of window in your home, roofing materials, all sorts of things that'll mitigate the impacts from a tropical storm or hurricane in this case. But again, with coastal areas, you could put storm shutters on your home. You can evacuate. You can, have a hurricane days, but there's really nothing to prevent from coming up and over. Right? We have storm walls, sea walls, things like that, but those are only good up to a certain extent and only proven to work in certain strength storms. When you get a storm this strong, moving in an area so vulnerable to storm surge, it's unpreventable really, because the land that's already there is just not able to protect itself from this type of storm surge.
One question from Watcher really quick. I saw a projection where Ian might actually cut through Florida, re-strengthen in the Atlantic, and come back around. Is that possible?
That is certainly possible. That's actually the official track from the Hurricane Center right now. And when they put out the last update, it does exit off the coast north of Cape Canaveral, it looks like. And then it'll be back over its fuel source, right? So anything that's held together after its movement over Florida will likely start to use that fuel to try to reorganize. It's only over water for a little while, maybe 18 hours, 24 hours. Still, it may be enough that it becomes a higher end tropical storm again and makes the landfall potentially near Savannah, Georgia, or Charleston, South Carolina. So we'll be talking about the storm through the rest of the week and even into the weekend. And then once it moves inland from there, it's going to run into the Appalachian Mountains. So when tropical systems run into a mountain chain, they create massive flooding problems because all of that moisture butts up against the mountains and it rises and it basically wrings itself out like a sponge. And you get prolific flooding issues from that. So this is going to be days worth of impacts to the East Coast of the United States.
Any other tips or things to add for the viewers who are concerned before you go, Tim?
We've watched, I think this was a very well forecast storm. This wasn't really surprising to anybody. I think where it may have thrown people off a little bit was when it really intensified quickly. And that was always a possibility in the forecasting with this, because all the conditions were pretty much checked off. All the ingredients were there for a really big storm to develop quickly. Where it was going, of course, the cone changed as we got closer. It originally started off out into the Florida Panhandle and then worked its way eastwards. So I think the messaging got out well. I think people knew that a storm was coming. I think a lot of people probably didn't think it would be as bad as what it might end up being. But I think you have that with every storm, unfortunately. And people think that, I survived a category 1, a category 2. each storm is unique and different. So Ian will be in its own category. Every other storm will have its own from there on out. So you got to treat each storm differently and not kind of compare it to others.
Well said. Well, I got to thank you and your wife, Martha, for connecting. A Popcorn Planeteer. So honored to meet you, Tim. What an honor, guys. Please go support Tim and follow him over on Twitter. You can go over there. He's on Instagram, Twitter, but go at Tim Panda. Is it Pandagist? Am I saying it right?
Pandageous, yes, Pandageous.
Pandageous, thank you. Tim Pandageous on over there from KHOU in Houston, Texas. Thank you for giving us your knowledge and stopping by. Please stay in touch. And if you get some more time, feel free to hop back in. Such a pleasure to meet you, Tim, and thank you so much for the expertise.
Thank you so much. Great.
All right,
Take
get
care.
back to work. I know you got to do it.
Tim.
So
Thank
you
you
for
very
sparing the
much.
time. Great again meeting you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. I mean, my God, how impressive! We got the best experts here, guys. So we don't F around, and I'm so glad Martha dropped me that. It was Martha, right? Make sure I thank you, Martha. Martha, a Planeteer, was watching since the Gabby days. Like, hey, my husband's a meteorologist. I'm like, yes, please. So thank you, Martha, for making that happen and being here. We got one of our own, an update, another one from one of our own. Let me get this in here. Hold on. Here we go. An update from Paige. From where
Hey,
she's
so
at.
here's what it's looking like in my neck of the woods. It's very light rain. No flooding in this area. We're not in a flood zone though. It's windy consistently, but there's big gusts of wind. The trees are wiggling a little bit. There's some branches that have broken down in my apartment complex. There's a lot of debris flying around. But it's pretty light over here. We are a little bit more north of where it's hitting directly right now, so I'm expecting to feel some more effects in a couple hours. But so far so
And then she sent her boyfriend's over more north, and damn, holy crap. Hold on, I got this to show. She sent that as well. Hold on, guys, bear with me as I get that sorted out. I have to go label the stupid PC.
I love how Paige is like in the middle of a hurricane and she still just looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like
Without a
props to
doubt.
you, Kim. Props. And whilst we're waiting for Andy to get up the second video, can we get another 1,000 likes right now for this stream for Tim? Like a TV meteorologist. Like, come on, guys.
wow.
Andy getting that expert in, thanks to Martha. 1,000 likes.
This
dude.
is
Come on,
this
guys.
is where this is by your place, Julie. This is so he's it's a leak. Wow, it's leaking in there. So he lives near Northport, Port Charlotte. So this is video from Northport, Port Charlotte, and he's at home. Why is he at home, Paige? What is he doing? Get the hell out of there. But there it is, images from and dripping.
I know where Paige's boyfriend lives. I know exactly where he lives. Paige and I had spoken about this before, and he was not far from me.
Well, so there you're getting insight. He's he's there, so it's still there. The houses are still up there,
Yep.
Julie. So keep your hopes up. I mean, yeah, it's gonna get wild. My goodness. Well, thank you, Paige's boyfriend, for sending that over and giving us insight from there. Please, I gave you the link, Paige, or if either of you want to phone in, you're welcome to join the conversation. Oh, here's Paige. I need to ask why the hell he's still there.
That would be a good question. to
Shame
start off
him.
with.
Make sure everyone, as you call in, keep your phones charged while you're talking to us in case you lose the power. You can adjust it. Paige, why the hell is he still over there? Welcome, Paige Vaughn, to the show.
Hi. So
Hey.
he left his house. He's at his mom's, which has a generator and hurricane-proof windows, which is also, it's still leaking. So he at least traveled slightly to be with family, but he did not leave. But he also, we weren't expecting it to hit the Northport, Port Charlotte area. We were expecting it to hit Tampa. So
Yeah. So this was this was a while. This was the Northport area. Or this is where he is now.
this is Northport. That's where he is.
Okay.
So he
But yeah, I
traveled
mean,
like
that's-
5 minutes down the road.
Yeah, I mean, but judging by Tim's 2 cents, it does seem like it's going to start getting real bad there. So I hope he's considering getting in that truck and getting the fuck out of there.
Well, the roads are pretty crazy, and that's
Yeah.
not safe to drive in. So
Yeah,
Too late.
it's too late. Well, there you go, Julie. So people are still holding out, hoping things will be okay. But there's a home in Northport feeling it, and was just now, recently.
that's just now. Hmm.
Okay, so I mean, and that's hit. It hit. According to Tim, it's already hit. So as we look at the and I guess it's not. Northport's still above it because it hit here. Northport is. Hold on, this website's so weird. It like makes me change it. Look at it. It's all the directions. Yeah, I mean, if it's hitting here,
That's right. It's right there.
yeah, Northport's
right
here and it's
there.
hitting here.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much in the path right now. So if
Yeah,
it's not
and that
already, it's going
red
to be within the
line
next
is
hour or
me.
two. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
red
well,
line
but
is
as Tim said it's slow, which is what's crazy. Also, it's heading down slow. So, all right, Paige, we're sending all the love over to him and his family over there.
Thanks.
Feel free if he wants to, update. You can share the link or anything else because we want to make sure he's safe.
His
But yeah,
internet. I mean, there's no internet there. This,
just sell
it's-
right.
Yeah, it's been really hard for him to even like have any.
What's
sort of,
wild
like,
is
reception.
because I saw it too, but it's getting all the palm pieces just go everywhere. It's just the pieces and they're heavy. And then if those trees come out, which it looks like they might start doing.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Did he look outside to see how many other people like are still there? It always fascinates me how many people actually go and how many people stay.
I think most
Did he-
people's cars are in their garage, but almost all his family, so his brothers, his nieces and nephews, everyone went over to his mom's house because it's a little bit sturdier. So I think
Got it.
his truck is the only one, but I'm also confused. I don't know why he didn't park closer to the house, which would have probably been smarter.
Like, the hell did you do that? Yeah, exactly. Or inside, exactly. I was debating. I didn't put mine
that's
in,
him.
but yeah, it's another whole thing you debate. Do we put the car in the garage? Because my garage is still filled with shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Well, sending thoughts there. Let's update. Let's see if Mike, because I know Mike's weather is there too. Also, all right, 52:30 will be a good, or I might go sooner, but if I do have a chance to edit it. Good point. Let's see if Mike has updated. My God, that's terrifying. Has Mike updated anything else? No, he's still, yeah, that's a similar look, but a little bit more intense. And that's inside Rotunda, which was an hour ago, which is here.
Mm-hmm.
So if that was an hour ago here, then yeah, it's starting to hit Northport. So yeah, Julie, I don't know, Julie, hold out hope. If Paige's guy's there and everything's up and this is what it looks like,
And she's by the water.
it might be good.
Yeah, I'm by the water.
Yeah.
So there you go. You're getting an instant view from where you were worried, and there might be some water damage and some damage, but hopefully all fixable. It's all just shit. Let's never forget it. It's all
And
shit we can
Paige-
buy again.
And Paige, what did you tell me the other day? Oh, Julie, stay put. Don't
Well,
come to
girl, that's when the
Tampa.
hurricane was coming to Tampa. When it was coming to Tampa, I was considering going down to Northport to stay.
Right.
And so now, I was like, oh, well, it's coming to Tampa. Maybe I should go down south, which is why I was like, Julie, don't leave. But then rapidly it switched paths and it started to go closer to you.
Well, there you go. Thanks for watching. What an amazing show. We had so much fun, and it did pivot to some weird stuff you're not going to miss.
Thanks,
But to
Tim.
everybody out there who's facing as we get this more and more footage came in as we were streaming, sending my hearts out to everybody out on the coastline who's getting affected by this. I hope you're safe. Please seek shelter. Get out if you need to, or find somewhere safe in your home. But stay safe out there, people. Don't do something dumb. And hopefully we'll all get through this together. And thanks to everybody who's been showing their support. And appreciate you guys so much for being here and all the support you showed. Make sure you go support It's Kim on YouTube, Steph the Alternerd, Nerd Report, my favorite, all of them, and Paige Vaughn. Thanks for being here, fellow Tampian Bay. Make sure you and Jack and your family are all safe. Please keep us posted. And also sending all my love out to Julie, who's stuck there not in her home because she's facing this damage. I hope everything is good. I'm thinking everything will be good. So please send her all your good vibes and thoughts. And I appreciate you guys so much for watching. As I was supposed to have this music playing, but there it is. Appreciate you guys so much. Stay tuned. We'll be back live tomorrow. I hope, unless I lose power tonight. It's supposed to hit me soon. But we'll see. Fingers crossed. Thank you for all the good vibes and support. You guys are amazing. And stay tuned for more here on Popcorn Planet. If you want to watch the full replay of what we did, if I was able to upload it in time, hit that join button and you'll be able to catch the replay at your leisure. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you guys tomorrow or soon, I hope. Bye, everybody.
Laters.